This whole time we were right. That might sound a little confusing. We were right about them listening. A lot of people, a lot of conspiracy theorists, or just people who are skeptical, most people that you talk to would likely say that Apple or even Samsung, anybody that owns a phone that you have, a watch, anything, they say they're listening. If anything has a camera or a microphone, they're listening, they're looking. The FBI, all those things that people say, seems like it might be true. The reason I say this is due to the somewhat recent lawsuit that Apple has had to settle for. Apple recently settled a $95 million settlement, a class action lawsuit against them, with Siri activating insensitive conversations, and this was activated in a weird way. Usually, on most common phones now, or Apple phones, you have to say, "Hey Siri," in order to activate Siri. And sometimes it would activate without you doing anything. If you said "seriously" or something like that, then Siri would activate. Honestly, if you said "seriously," it makes sense why it would, but that's why they added "Hey Siri" into the thing in order for Siri to finally activate, instead of just saying something that sounded like it. Now, this settlement was over alleged privacy violations. However, it seems though in their settlement agreement or in some of the statements by Apple, they kind of just seem to admit it in a way. We'll get to that. Siri was recording the audio upon activation, which was... Oh, look, it turned on. Which was strange. By the way, that shouldn't have worked. I should have had to say, "Hey Siri," but... Okay, weird. Anywho, it recorded it. And people were worried about that, the phone was recording you, and they were right. It kind of makes sense why you would get recorded, maybe for them to get feedback, and nobody really looks at those terms of service. Nobody pays attention to it. You just hit agree and you move on when you get your phone. Nobody cares. Nobody reads it. Not many people, at least. So maybe this was in it. Who knows? Nobody seems to have pointed that out. Now, what caused this to finally be something brought into court against Apple? I mean, we've all had it happen. Anybody who owns an iPhone knows that this has happened randomly. Or if you have a watch, it happens randomly. Everybody's made jokes about it. So how is it that now this is getting settled and you can actually earn money from this? Well, part of it was me saying the "Hey Siri" part. With that not being what activated it and them just speaking, especially in a sensitive conversation, maybe you're a part of a big time corporation, maybe you're in the government. If your phone activates and is recording you, that's a big violation of your privacy and can cause massive turbulence. I don't know if that's the word I'm trying to say. Anywho, you get the point. That could be a hassle. That could be a big problem. Now, the settlement was finalized on December 31st of 2024, and it's eligible to U.S. users who own Siri-enabled devices, aka iPhones, iPads, smartwatches, thing with Siri on it, between September 17th, 2014 and December 31st, 2024. The file claims for compensation of up to $20 per device, with a maximum of 5 devices per person, in which these claims must be submitted by July 2nd, 2025. So you can still get $20, or if you have a watch and a phone, you can get 40. I haven't looked into it, but you should have gotten an email that will pop up on the screen right now that shows you how to get compensation. Should say some details or show some details into the lawsuit. Just check your email, type in Siri, and it should pop up in there. So how did this happen? The lawsuit was prompted by reports that Siri could be unintentionally activated by sounds similar to "Hey Siri," leading to the recording of sometimes sensitive conversations. The recordings were allegedly reviewed by third-party contractors, raising privacy concerns, aka selling it for ads. As every social media company does, as every tech company does, they always sell some sort of data to other third-party contractors. It always happens. Facebook, Twitter, that was a big thing with Twitter doing it. Same thing with Facebook. So this wasn't really a shocker. Again, it's just privacy concerns, and Apple will never admit to it. Nobody will ever admit to it, and nobody will ever stop doing it. They won't. Now, of course, as one does, Apple denied any wrongdoing, stating that Siri data has never been used to build marketing profiles or has been sold to advertisers. They say audio recordings are only retained if users opt in it to help improve Siri. This was their initial statement that they made. In response to the controversy in 2019, yes, this is pretty old. It just now got settled, which is why you're getting that email. But in 2019, Apple stopped retaining audio recordings by default and has allowed users to opt in to share audio samples for Siri improvements, which is what I mentioned earlier. Now, along with this, they then stated that they were committed to deleting all recordings prior to this change in their privacy settings. I personally don't believe that. I just don't. They want to make a better Siri. They will try to make a better Siri, and the only way they can do that is by using these recordings and trying to improve it. Just like anything, you need data to improve something. If you don't have any data, if you don't know what works, what doesn't, what can improve something, you're not going to do anything. I also don't remember seeing an opt-in to use Siri record me. Again, don't really remember getting my phone and activating it, but don't remember that. And this was in 2019. A separate class action lawsuit filed in Illinois claims that Apple violated the state's Biometric Information Privacy Act. The state's BIPA, Biometric Information Privacy Act, was violated as Apple collected and stored users' voice prints without proper consent. The lawsuit alleges that Apple failed to inform users of the specific purpose and duration of data collection and did not obtain written consent for the use of their biometric data, basically stealing your fingerprint, your Face ID, and your voice. I mean, if they obtained and collected the data, they did it for a reason. One, maybe to improve, but also to sell. The Lopez Voice Assistant is a class action lawsuit of Lopez v. Apple Incorporated. This is the lawsuit that we're talking about, kind of, and this is what's getting you money. Well, if you want to. Apple now must pay $95 million in a settlement agreement, which is nothing to them, due to the privacy violations involving Siri. Again, like I mentioned multiple times, you're allowed to earn money from this, $20 per device that has Siri. Basically, we were right. They were listening. They collected data, they sold it, and who knows, maybe they even sold it to the government. Honestly, who knows? Probably some nice fuel for conspiracy theories. I'm sure a lot of people already knew this or thought about this. Again, this lawsuit has been going on for quite a while. It just now got settled, which is crazy. And for $95 million, seems nuts to me. If that's a part, if the $20 per device is a part of the $95 million, then that's really stupid. If it's added on, then I can understand. It seems too low for how big Apple is and how much money they have. That's it. Bye.